Dr. Elijah Thompson had built a career in the hospitality industry over 2 decades, starting from entry-level positions and rising to become the CEO of Horizon Hospitality Group, a company that owned and operated dozens of upscale hotels across the United States. His journey was marked by numerous achievements, including expanding the company's portfolio to include properties valued at over $500 million. Thompson, a 52-year-old African-American man from Atlanta, had always emphasized diversity and inclusion in his business practices, drawing from his own experiences with discrimination early in his career. On the evening of July 15, 2024, Thompson checked into the Meridian Grand Hotel in Miami, a property partially owned by Horizon Hospitality Group through a joint venture. He had arrived for a business meeting the next day and requested a standard suite under his personal name to maintain a low profile. The check-in process proceeded without incident, and Thompson retired to his room after a long flight. Around 9:30 p.m., Thompson placed a call to room service from his suite. He ordered a simple meal, grilled salmon, a side salad, and a bottle of sparkling water. The operator on the line, a staff member later identified as Karen Ellis, responded curtly. She informed Thompson that room service was closed for the evening, despite the hotel's policy stating it was available until 11 p.m. Thompson politely questioned the discrepancy, referencing the in-room menu that confirmed the hours. Ellis repeated her statement and added that the kitchen was experiencing issues. Thompson, sensing something off, asked to speak with a manager. The call was transferred to the night manager, Michael Reynolds, who echoed Ellis's claim. Reynolds explained that due to staffing shortages, room service had been suspended for select guests. When Thompson pressed for clarification on what select guests meant, Reynolds became evasive, mentioning high demand from other patrons. Thompson, drawing on his extensive knowledge of hotel operations, knew this was not standard procedure. He identified himself as the CEO of Horizon Hospitality Group and demanded an explanation for the denial. Reynolds hesitated before admitting that the decision was based on a profile check conducted by the front desk, which flagged Thompson's request as potentially problematic. This profile check, it later emerged, involved subjective assessments by staff, often influenced by biases. At this point, Thompson requested documentation of the policy and the reasons for flag. Reynolds refused, stating it was internal. Thompson then contacted the hotel's general manager, who was off-site via his personal line. The general manager, aware of Thompson's position, confirmed that no such suspension existed and that the staff had acted independently. Within minutes of this confirmation, Thompson activated his authority as a majority stakeholder in the joint venture. He instructed the general manager to assemble the on-duty staff in the lobby. By 10:15 p.m., 12 employees, including Ellis, Reynolds, and kitchen personnel, were gathered. Thompson addressed them directly, outlining the incident and its implications. He explained that the denial constituted discrimination under Title II of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits discrimination in places of public accommodation. Thompson referenced similar cases, such as those involving black guests at Hilton properties, where lawsuits have been filed for racial profiling. He cited the 2020 incidents where black individuals were singled out of hotels, leading to public outcry and legal action. The staff members involved denied any racial motivation, claiming it was a misunderstanding. However, security footage reviewed later showed Ellis making comments about Thompson's appearance during the initial call, using coded language that suggested bias. Reynolds had approved the denial without verification. Thompson announced the immediate termination of all on-duty staff for violating company anti-discrimination policies. This decision was executed through Horizon's HR protocols, which allowed for swift action in cases of misconduct. The terminations were processed by 10:45 p.m., with security escorting the employees off the premises. News of the incident spread rapidly through social media and industry channels. By the next morning, local news outlets in Miami reported on the event, interviewing former employees and guests. One anonymous ex-staff member claimed the denial was routine for certain guests, hinting at systemic issues. Thompson issued a statement through Horizon Hospitality Group, emphasizing the company's zero-tolerance policy for discrimination. The fallout was significant. The Meridian Grand Hotel faced a temporary staffing shortage, relying on agency workers until new hires were on board. Horizon initiated an internal audit of all properties to identify similar practices. Legal experts weighed in, noting that Thompson's actions were within his rights as an owner and aligned with employment at will doctrines in Florida. Thompson's background added weight to the story. Born in 1972, he graduated from Morehouse College with a degree in business administration and earned an MBA from Harvard Business School. His early career included stints at major chains like Marriott, where he encountered subtle biases that motivated his push for change. Under his leadership, Horizon had implemented training programs on implicit bias, which the Meridian staff had reportedly completed but not adhered to. In interviews following the incident, Thompson spoke about the broader implications. He referenced historical cases like architect Paul R. Williams, who designed iconic hotels but was barred from staying in them due to race. Thompson drew parallels to modern examples, such as BET founder Bob Johnson's 2018 accusation against a Florida hotel for racial profiling. The terminated staff pursued unemployment claims, but Horizon contested them, providing evidence of policy violations. 2 employees filed wrongful termination suits, alleging the firings were excessive. These cases were settled out of court in early 2025, with non-disclosure agreements preventing details from emerging. The incident prompted discussions in the hospitality industry about racism. Organizations like the American Hotel and Lodging Association issued guidelines reinforcing anti-discrimination measures. Thompson became a spokesperson for diversity, speaking at conferences and advocating for more Black executives in leadership roles. Data from the EOC showed a rise in race-based complaints in the service sector, with hotels accounting for a notable portion. Thompson's case highlighted how even high-profile individuals face such treatment, underscoring the need for systemic reform. In the month that followed, Horizon stock value dipped initially but recovered as the company positioned itself as a leader in inclusive practices. Thompson continued to oversee operations, ensuring that policies were enforced rigorously. The story of Thompson's experience at the Meridian Grand served as a cautionary tale. It demonstrated how quickly discriminatory actions could lead to severe consequences, especially when the victim held power to respond decisively. Thompson reflected on the event in a company memo, stating that it reinforces commitment to equity. He outlined plans for enhanced monitoring and anonymous reporting systems to prevent future occurrences. Industry analysts noted that the firings, while drastic, set a precedent. Other CEOs cited the case when addressing internal issues, using it to emphasize accountability. Community responses varied. Some praised Thompson for taking a stand, while others questioned the mass termination's fairness. Debates on social media platforms like X highlighted divides and perceptions of racism in service industries. Thompson's actions also inspired policy changes at competing chains. Marriott, for instance, announced updated training modules in response to similar complaints. By August 2025, the incident had faded from headlines, but its impact lingered. Thompson remained at the helm of Horizon, guiding the company toward greater inclusivity. The event underscored a persistent reality. Discrimination persists, but when challenged by those in positions of authority, it can lead to immediate and profound change. To expand on the background, Thompson's rise in the industry was not without challenges. In his early days at a mid-level hotel chain, he faced promotion denials despite outperforming peers. These experiences fueled his entrepreneurial spirit, leading to the founding of Horizon in 2005. Horizon's portfolio included boutique hotels and large resorts, with a focus on urban markets. The Meridian Grand was acquired in 2022 as part of an expansion into Florida's tourism sector. On the night of the incident, Thompson was preparing for a merger discussion that could value Horizon at $1 billion. The denial disrupted his evening, but he turned it into an opportunity for reform. The staff's profiles revealed varied tenures. Ellis had worked at the hotel for 5 years, with prior complaints about her customer interactions. Reynolds, the manager, had a clean record until this event. Post-termination, some staff found employment elsewhere, while others transitioned out of hospitality. Thompson offered severance to those not directly involved in the denial, showing a measured approach. Legal ramifications extended to a review by the Florida Commission on Human Relations, which found probable cause for discrimination claims. Thompson's family supported his decision. His wife, a civil rights attorney, advised on the legal aspects, ensuring compliance with all regulations. The incident also boosted Thompson's public profile. He appeared on podcasts discussing Black leadership in business, sharing strategies for overcoming barriers. In a broader context, the story aligned with national conversations on race following high-profile cases in 2024. Horizon's diversity metrics improved post-incident, with increased hiring of minority staff in management roles. Thompson's philosophy, "Equity starts at the front desk," became a company slogan. The full impact of the firings was felt in staff morale. New hires underwent rigorous training, reducing complaint rates by 30% in the following quarter. Experts like Calvin Stovall, author of Hidden Hospitality, praised Thompson for highlighting Black contributions to the industry. The story continued to circulate in training sessions, serving as a real-world example of consequences for bias. Thompson's decisive action not only addressed the immediate wrong, but also contributed to long-term change in the hospitality sector.